Well, hello everybody. Welcome to a live chat here on YouTube. Generally, for those of you who follow our live chat sessions, you'll know that a lot of times it is done on another platform. But I thought that we would do a special here on YouTube to talk about some of the things that are of interest and importance in the media today. Now, we need to look at various things, including the fact that there is major concern in relation to the United States and their national security. Now, for those of you who have not been paying attention today, it has come out that Pete Hegseth, as well as the Vice President Vance and others, were using an unsecured, online available public chat application that has some level of encryption or security, but it is not authorized by the United States government as a secure platform for which to hold whether it's confidential or top secret or any other conversations in relation to the administration of the government of the United States of America. Now, what happened is that they were actually talking about war plans or attack plans against the Houthis in Yemen. They were talking about this plan openly on a chat stream, and it turns out that they had an unauthorized individual that they invited into the chat, and that was a reporter and editor. Now, this, of course, is of great concern for many reasons. Now, first of all, the Telegram app that they were using is one that has been subject to security concerns facing the application itself and the potential breach of data that's shared on that app with the Russians, the Chinese, and other international agents or actors that may have plans or nefarious ideas against the United States. And here they are sharing confidential, top secret information of an ongoing attack and plans of attack against the Houthis. It is ridiculous. Now, at this time, of course, under the Trump presidency, we don't expect there to be much in terms of demand for resignations or firings. Quite the contrary. I think that Trump is just going to bury his head in the sand as he does so well to get that orange tinge out of the sand. It is very concerning. You had Waltz, you had the leader of the Foreign Intelligence Committee, you had, Vice President Vance, you had all these people on there talking about it. This not only gives the preparation by the Houthis, who could have gotten that information ahead of time and actually countered with an attack of their own, to really put in harm's way the dedicated men and women of the American military. Those that were carrying out the attacks were at risk because of the ignorance and unqualified actions of these individuals. Now, they put people's lives at risk. They put the national security of the United States at risk. They are using an app that is not sanctioned or allowed. It goes against national security of the United States, and there are serious consequences that could be initiated against all individuals who participated in this activity of sharing information on a publicly available app that was not encrypted by the government of the United States. Now, Hegseth basically turned it around when he was confronted by members of the media today. He turned it around and tried to make it seem as though it was not a big deal, and instead attacked the journalist and editor and the publication and trying to defer the responsibility onto them, making it seem like it was just some big joke to him. He did not take it seriously in his response. He did not directly actually address the problem and the risk that they caused, and he sure as hell didn't take any responsibility whatsoever. He was the one who, during the conversation, excuse me, sorry, folks, But during the conversation, he is the one that said that they were secure, that it was locked down, that there was no risk there. And yet it is blatantly clear that that too was a lie. It seems like nothing that comes out of the White House administration can be taken as the truth. It needs to be vetted, it needs to be fact checked, and it is just an ongoing problem. And when you take into account the press secretary at the White House, and as I refer to her, bargain basement Barbie, because she is the bottom of the barrel. She repeats all of these lies and really tries to put the onus of truth on the reporters themselves instead of taking accountability as a White House representative to give truth and to give facts. And even the most latest press conferences that she's had a stack of papers going, oh, they're promoting it as saving trillions with Doge. And, oh, we saved, a couple of $1 million here. We saved $36,000 there. And it comes very, very clear it is not anywhere near the trillions that she is claiming and the White House is claiming. And, of course, Doge is claiming. Now we can take this even further when we talk about bargain basement Barbie and the Elon Musk, illegitimate children crew. These guys are just a joke. They are dangerous, though, and that's where the laughing has to stop. This Doge team is inexperienced. They do not understand the depths of the position they are in. They do not understand the security protocols that the government must face and must follow and adhere to. They don't understand the risk of that information being leaked, in which, foreign governments could use against the United States of America. Take that a step further, and the fact that with their ability to get into the US databases, they are also breaching the data of international citizens. The clear explanation of this, or example of this, would be if you as a business owner were doing any type of business in the United States. All of that information on the US databases, including tax and income, personal information, personal details and data, that is gathered and shared between foreign governments under the tax treaty program. Under that program, they have an even higher level of assumed risk of potential data breaches, and therefore the liability is higher, and so is the expectation of protection. That information is not meant to be handed out to any Tom, Dick, or Harry that works, or big balls that works for Elon Musk, or the big dick himself, Elon Musk. This is not what that database is for. Now, if you take this even further than that, now, there are companies around the world that are paying billions of dollars for data in order to train AI systems. And when you think about it, you're usually thinking the generative AI that's collecting information and generating images and videos. But it goes way beyond that. There are research protocols. There are data sets that are extremely valuable. And those are really what helps to program these systems that are going to be running a lot of our finance, a lot of the economy, a lot of education. The AI principles and the AI systems have just unlimited potential to help humanity. But at the same time, they come with a major risk to humanity. Now, the AI systems can also be influenced by the data in which they're being fed. And the more data you have and feed into an AI system, the more accuracy that you'll get if it is fed open information. Instead of directed information, which could lead to the AI bias. And why this is important is because as the Doge team is accessing all of these government databases and all of this data on personal accounts, as well as business and corporate accounts, they could be feeding all of that information into the Grok AI training modules. That machine learning and the deep language learning along other routes in which they are training AI systems, all of that government data is invaluable and could provide a very, very unfair advantage to Elon Musk to his companies and so many other areas in which he is involved. Now, when you look at the health system and their databases, imagine this. Now, Elon Musk has been talking about his medical AI imaging and other diagnostic systems. He has asked Americans and people worldwide to upload their personal images from CAT scans and MRIs and X-rays and so on and so forth. Now, as he has asked people to do this for free, it is generating an AI system that will be able to detect. Maybe it'll help to do diagnostics or read X-rays or MRIs and catch issues that may be potentially harming an individual and their health. However, Elon Musk is not doing that out of the goodness of his heart. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and he wants a piece of that pie, as he does in the auto manufacturing, in brain chip implants, as he does for space travel and exploration. Let's face it, Elon Musk is not someone who's doing it for the goodness of humanity. Now, if he is taking all of that information out of the healthcare systems in the United States, that again gives him an unfair competitive advantage over all of the competition, but it also is providing all of your data, your medical data, your income data, your, just everything about you that the government has stored. Now Elon Musk and his AI systems have access to that. And if you think that his little cronies that are delving into these databases and locking government workers out and deleting files, I guarantee you that there is a risk that they are taking that data as well and feeding it into their databases to train their AI systems. That should be concerning, because that gives Elon Musk, as a private citizen, and private corporations control and access to everything about you. That is scary. Now, if it's not bad enough that the American government is allowing him to do this on Americans, they are allowing him to do it on international citizens in breach of international tax treaties and other treaties, because through those systems, there are a lot of data sets that are belonging to different corporations that operate outside of the United States of America or are founded outside of the United States of America. But because they happen to do business within the parameters of the U.S. trade agreements, or by having satellite offices in the U.S. or dealing with U.S. companies, now Elon Musk has that information on the other companies and potentially on his own competition and screwing them. And let's take a look at it another way. He has access to all of the government procurement sites and all of the potential bids that have gone into the United States systems. And therefore, he is able to look at what bids are out there for different corporations, including ones that he may compete with, so that he can put in bids from his companies that he is guaranteed to be able to secure. Now, one of the tricks of government procurement is that they are at times limited in scope, because they will put in certain limitations or certain variations and such that define who is going to get that contract. They may go to a public bid process and call for certain vehicles, but these vehicles need to have certain components or configurations and such that that narrows it down to one specific manufacturer. And that is how they sometimes stack these in favor of certain companies. And that is a problem as well. But to give Elon Musk as a citizen a full carte blanche to the data sets held by the United States government, that should be a very huge concern to all Americans. Now, of course, you can also look at the fact that The lies, again, going back to the White House, the lies coming out are just never ending. There was a release the other day that they allegedly sold 1,000 of the U.S. gold card immigration cards in one day at $5 million a piece. I call bullshit on that, and I would like to see the evidence of that. I would like to see how they actually calculate this number, because I do not believe that 1,000 people in one day spent $5 million each to obtain these gold immigration cards. And if they did, then it leads to question, who are these people? Are they Russian oligarchs that are trying to get out from under the sanctions and trying to unfreeze their assets in global markets because they can identify as American by spending that $5 million? Maybe they're getting back access to billions of dollars of money that they were not legally entitled to start with, but that they had obtained through corruption or other means. So again, big concerns about the lies coming out of the White House in a constant daily fashion. And of course, as I said, the White House press secretary and spokesperson, Bargain Basement Barbie, is the least qualified of any media liaison or press secretary I've ever seen. And let me tell you, I'm not just talking about the White House here. I'm talking, she is not qualified to be the press secretary and media liaison for a Dunkin' Donuts franchise. It is just insane, the level of idiocracy coming out of that administration and the level of incompetence that we're seeing. Now, the other big announcement was that the Boeing company has been issued a contract worth trillions of dollars to develop the next level fighter jet for the U.S. military, and this is apparently the F-47. Now, this is the big joke as well, because if you look at the previous development, which was the F-35 Lightning that was supposed to be released by Lockheed Martin, this has been riddled with nothing but technical delays, technical issues, software issues, just development and delivery issues. It has been a disaster. $1 trillion project that still hasn't gotten off the ground. And now, because they were relying on international sales to other foreign governments, including Canada as one of them, right now it is in limbo, because most countries now do not see the United States as a dependable ally, as a partner. Most countries have concerns about the instability within the US government, and therefore it is scaring people away from that F-35 Lightning, regardless of any developments or to get it back on course. But instead of pulling the plug when they knew that it was a failure, they continued to throw billions and billions of dollars into the development of that F-35 Lightning, and they just did not want to pull the plug. So the question is, are they going to keep sending billions and billions of dollars to Lockheed Martin to move forward with the F-35s while they continue to work towards development of an F-47? Those are the questions. And is the F-47 going to be any better? Let's face it, the contract has been awarded to Boeing. The next principle, or the next question, of course, is what level of public consultation and what level of public procurement applications, requests for proposals and such were put out there in order to secure that contract for Boeing? Or was it just another backdoor deal by the Trump administration? That is concerning, considering that Boeing has had such a real issue with safety. We're not talking fighter jets. They can't even build commercial aircraft for the, Detroit to LA runs. They have doors falling off and panels and, so many safety issues with their commercial aircraft. And now you're looking at giving them trillions of dollars potentially to go forward with these F-47s. Ridiculous, unthoughtful, and really just another way of Trump throwing money around, trying to make himself feel like a big boy at the big boys table. But let's face it, Trump doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's surrounded himself with a bunch of yes people who also are unqualified and incompetent. And that is a scary proposition when you're looking at the next level fighter jets for the US military and trillions of dollars in waste that he himself and Elon Musk have claimed that they are dedicated to getting rid of the waste in government. And here we are, more waste going on. This is supposed to be replacing the F-22 Raptor in terms of that new F-47. It's supposed to replace the Raptor, but again, it is looking like it could be just another smokescreen to divert your attention away from the failed F-35 Lightning aircraft and the fact that the international community, which the U.S. military relies on to make back some of that investment on these fighter aircraft, may be a lot more reserved than what has been historically successful projects with the U.S. selling these fighter planes to other countries. Again, it is a real concern. When you look at the security of the United States of America, when you look at their allies who are now no longer allies, they have pushed them away, they've insulted them, they have threatened them, and they have just out and out lied about their allies. And yet they're warming up to people like Putin and Xi Jinping, or whatever the hell his name is in China. You've got Iran, you've got North Korea, and these are the people that Donald Trump is idolizing. These are the people that Trump is turning to for decision making. These are the people that he is turning to in order to try and bring further investment from foreign oligarchs into the United States. He is throwing away the United States of America and all that it's been built on, all that it stands for, and all that it should and could be. Instead, he is moving it towards a dictatorship, an authoritarian regime, and that's what sorry about that, but that's where it's going, and it is not acceptable to the global community, and that of course has been very well stated. Now, you have the vice president's wife, the second lady of the United States, heading over to Greenland with her entourage and representatives of the American government. And again, Donald Trump is insulting Denmark and Greenland while he's begging to get eggs out of them. Like, it is just insane, the level of idiocracy that Donald Trump is displaying. The level of incompetence by his administration is not anywhere near what we could have envisioned. It's way beyond what we ever could have imagined. And we need to stand up as a global community and demand that this bullshit stops, that they stop destroying what is or what should have been a great or the greatest country in the world, and instead he's taking it down the tubes to be nothing but a third-rate country without any allies around the world, except those who would stab him in the back for a quarter, and that's the way it is. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Live Chat with James, special edition on YouTube. And we hope that we will be coming back to you on YouTube a lot more often in the near future. If you enjoyed this live stream, or if you are watching it after airing in a rebroadcast, by all means, leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think, and if you would like to see more episodes like this done live on YouTube. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And once again, I am James Cousineau at the ProPix TV studios in Vancouver, British Columbia.